Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is Ballad of a Thin Man by Bob Dylan. Okay, y'all, this one might be a tough one. I don't know much about Bob Dylan. I do know that he is known for his lyrics and his messaging, and so, a lot of you already know, that I sort of have a preference more for the music over lyrics. And that is not at all the fault of the lyrics. There's nothing against the lyrics. It's just totally the way my brain works. How my brain sort of sees the words is just sort of more texture and tone in the music. And my brain just doesn't naturally go for the meaning behind the words first and foremost. It does happen. You all have seen it if you've seen some of my reactions. It's not the first layer that I see. So I'll be honest in saying I am a little bit biased when there are musicians out there who just do the music kind of for the sake of the lyrics and just like, okay, the lyrics are the most important thing and the music is just there. And the music is whatever. The music doesn't have to be that important. I don't take offense to that, but it's hard for me to relate to because the music aspect of it is so important to me. But there is nothing wrong with anyone out there who writes music that way based on the lyrics or enjoys music that way just based on the lyrics. We're just different people. Actually, what I'm hoping is that I will learn to appreciate music that is based more on the lyrics. And if I'm wrong for some reason, and Bob Dylan does have music out there where the music itself is actually really substantial and it's just really well loved and it's not just about the lyrics, then great. I'm here for it. If not, then I'll still try to be here for it. So this is an adventure, and this is the first one that I'm diving into. So thank you all of you for your patience. Let's just move forward in this adventure together. And again, what are we doing in this adventure here? I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we look at all of the different aspects of the music, including the lyrics, but how the music is composed, the instruments that are used, and how we relate to it. Why do we like it, or why do we not like it? So will I like this? I honestly have no idea. This might be stretching my limits. I just don't know. But I'm here for it. So, without any further delay, let's listen. Okay, here we go.
You walk into the room with your pencil in your hand. You see somebody naked and you say, who is that man? You try so hard but you don't understand just what you will say when you get home. Because something is happening here but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? You raise up your head and you ask, is this where it is? Then somebody points to you and says, it's his. And you say, what's mine? And somebody else says, well, what is? And you say, oh my God, am I here all alone? But something is happening and you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? You hand in your...
Okay. I think we came to a close with the first verse or so. All right. Well, I'm enjoying the vibe. Mr. Jones. Who's Mr. Jones? And I went ahead and put the subtitles on here, so I am watching the words as they go by. What is this? What is it? Somebody was naked. All right. I'm almost nervous trying to pay attention to the lyrics. Okay, so I'm going to look at the part that my brain, again, was really focusing on. The aesthetic of the sound of the whole ensemble. So, I don't know, I was picturing a saloon, the old out-of-tune player piano kind of sound, and I think there was some kind of warbly organ in the background too. It's not like a cowboy kind of thing, but there is just someone, like, that's what I'm picturing. But then somebody was naked, so his voice is somehow at the same time calming and really intriguing. He sort of approximates the pitches a little bit, but there were a few moments where, like when da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da, when he went down like that he was actually very precise, and he has a nice low range, a nice solid baritone, maybe even a bass voice. But the delivery of the main melody is just sort of repetitious. But there's a lot of music out there. Blues. It's very repetitive, but that sort of gets the point across. All right, let's continue on.
Ticket, and you go watch the geek, who immediately walks up to you when he hears you speak and says, how does it feel to be such a freak? And you say impossible as he hands you a bone. And something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? You have many contacts among the lumberjacks to get you facts when someone attacks your imagination. But nobody has any respect. Anyway, they already expect you to all give a check to tax-deductible charity organizations. You've been with the professors and they've all liked your looks. With great lawyers you have discussed lepers and crooks. You've been through all of F. Scott Fitzgerald's books. You're very well read, it's well known. But something is happening here and you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? Well, the sword swallower, he comes.
Okay, so right there, I was expecting an instrumental solo. And I heard a guitar pickup and I was like, oh, okay, there it is. And then no. The next verse just came right back in. All right, so Mr. Jones, I think, doesn't have a good sense much of what's going on. So we're talking about ignorance. Ballad of a Thin Man. Thin man as in someone really surfacey, shallow. Kind of someone who is falling prey to the evils of society. Someone who just doesn't look around and know what's going on, even though they're apparently so well read. And he sort of passes all the tests of certain levels of society. Doesn't mean he's a good man though, huh? The repetition is kind of mesmerizing, I have to say. And the music behind it, all of the textures, the old piano and the organ sound and the guitars, they're kind of painfully wailing, almost kind of making fun. It's like the backdrop to this show. Am I okay with that? Sure. I've played in plenty of things that are accompanimental. Of course. That's okay. And it's all still really interesting. Again, the textures of it. Really cool. All right. Let's keep going. Next verse.
Comes up to you and then he kneels. He crosses himself and then he clicks his high heels and And without further notice, he asks you how it feels. And he says, here is your throat back, thanks for the loan. And you know something is happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? Now you see this one-eyed midget shouting the word now, and you say, for what reason? And he says, how? And you say, what does this mean? And he screams back, you're a cow. Give me some milk or else go home. And you know something's happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones? Well, you walk into the room like a camel, and then you frown. You put your eyes in your pocket and your nose on the ground. There ought to be a law against you coming around. You should be made to wear earphones, 'cause something is happening and you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Okay, so I think the point got across. Definitely about ignorance and, frankly, playing into a game and just getting taken advantage of. But this was done in a very poetic manner and almost comical. He was talking about animals and interesting characters, almost something out of your imagination. Well, wait, who was the naked man? Was that him? Like everyone could basically just see right through him? Or was there someone else that was naked and it was shocking him? So this really makes you stop and think. Instrumentally, music-wise, we heard a little flourishing, like the trills up, with the organ towards the beginning of the song, and that all came back towards the end in the fade out. I think the fade out was appropriate here. I think that if it like slowed down and came, had a cadence and came to an end there, I think it would be kind of cheesy. So I agree with the fade out. And he even got one little whoa out at the very, very end. I heard it as it was fading out. So yes, this was pretty much strictly just about the lyrics. And I absolutely believe that the lyrics can stand for themselves. They're that strong. I don't have much else of his work to compare with. They definitely seemed clever. So the poeticism is there. Sometimes, and we do this with both music and lyrics, it seems as though anybody could just sit down, like, can't we just all just sit down and write something out? Like write some words down and have it be beautiful? Sit down and actually plunk something out on a piano? Sing a little melody? But for those of you who have actually sat down to try it, you soon find out that it's way more difficult than you think. Sure, you can come up with something simplistic, but would it be able to stand the test of time? This song came out in 1965. I do know that. And what's great about it is that it can be applied to just about every decade. The appeal can be universal. It's not easy to write words that can behave that way, and it's not easy to write melodies that can behave that way. Sometimes people get lucky, but the rest of the time, it has to come from a place way down deep, and you have to have just the right touch. So I can see a little bit of his magic with the lyrics here. The throat thing was really interesting. The sword swallower, and then here's your throat back. Interesting. And the eye in your pocket and your nose to the ground. Interesting. So I will put my honest opinion here. I do wish that there was a little bit more substantially with the music part of it, but at the same time, I still pretty much feel satisfied. It was there to accompany his words, and it did its job, and it was really interesting. All the aesthetic, the sounds of it, it was really neat. So I'm not necessarily leaving disappointed, but I just always want to hear more music. So throughout the song, every time there was that little transition between the verses, I was really totally expecting something happening with the instruments, and then the lyrics just kept coming back, and it's like, oh, okay, we're just going to keep going. That's okay. It's just my personal preference, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what happened. Everybody's cool. We're all cool. I'm going to talk about his voice. In complete honesty, he doesn't have the most well-trained voice. Again, some of the pitches were approximated. Not necessarily out of tune, but just not extremely specific. But there were enough notes that were in tune that you could tell he can do it. He just doesn't. And to me, that is more of an artistic preference or an artistic move. But at the same time, what he's doing with his voice is so expressive. Do I wish he would utilize his voice a little more? Yeah, I kind of do. There were a couple of moments, like, let's see if we can find one, where I was impressed with the sound of his voice. I'm like, ooh, that was a nice, rich tone. Here, let's see if you can find where that was.
And you know something's happening, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
Okay, so that what it is, that right there, like he was pretty precise. You could hear him utilizing his voice that way. So would I have liked to hear that a few more times? Sure. I heard it maybe two times, maybe 3 in the song, but I'm fine without it. I'm okay. I promise. You don't have to be perfect, right? Especially when that certainly is not the point of this music. The point of this music is not perfection. Honestly, to me, it's kind of much better than that. Okay, so that was Ballad of a Thin Man by Bob Dylan. It was kind of what I was expecting. Heavy on the lyrics, strong on the point, and the music was very interesting and did such a good job supporting his words. But I think this one little snapshot that I have of him, I don't think is enough to completely form a full picture here. So I definitely need to listen to some more. So let me know in the comments what that might be. But my interest is piqued. Will this go on my playlist? Yeah, I think it will. Is it the first thing that I would go to? No, I don't think so. But I would definitely want it to be in the rotation. You hit shuffle, and if it came up, I would be like, all right, let's go. So thank you for experiencing this with me. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Don't be perfect. Just be okay. And keep listening.